Welcome back to Farming Simulator with the Rude Man. As soon as I find my headphones. And let's check everything out. Hey, we're here. All right, I got to find a controller that works. And we're going to do some farming. I don't know whose house we're in. Every once in a while, it kicks me into somebody else's house. I don't know whose house this is. Oh, it's got a backyard. And a gate. And the gate don't work. Well, poop. How are we supposed to get in the backyard? Jump over to get. Good Lord, somebody used to mow the lawn. All right, I'm stuck in somebody else's backyard, so let me get out of here. And let's go find out what we were doing. Okay, something's wrong. Hey, Scorp, my sound is off. What the heck? Let's try this again. Hi, Dennis. So, Scorpion, how's the sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Something was wrong. I had to fisk it. Now it's on. You can hear me. Sound and video's all good. Lori's in the house already. Hi, Lori. Hey, Scorp, what was the name of that map? I found a map called Down Under. It's a Kaz map, and we've used him before. Land Down Under, it's called, but it crashes my game. I couldn't load it. I actually even took all the mods out and only put that map in, and it still crashed my game. Lori's doing good. Jared's in the house. Hey, Jared. What was I doing? Anybody remember? Why is my... Oh, never mind. Never mind. What was I doing? Oh, I need to pick up grass. Let's do that before the grass grows. So let's run back around here and pick this guy up. Jared, what's happening? Thank you, Dennis. How's work on the truck going, Jared? Craig's here. Snake feeding time. Western Austria. Austria. I thought you said Australia. Okay. Yeah, I went to look for an Australian map, and I found one by Kaz. I know I've played his maps before, but it crashed my game. It's a 16X called Land Down Under, and it was too far under for me to play. Okay, what's happening here? Put that down. Put that out. Start it up. Here we go. Oh, you do? Just a typo. Okay. So what did you think it was? Australia? Hang on just a sec. All right, am I back yet? All right, I'm back. I would say I got people out trying to get online and they don't know the password for the Wi-Fi because I have a different Wi-Fi. I have a different router now. They still haven't fixed my old one, so I'm just going to leave it. This one's working. I don't want to change it back again. All the trouble I went to fix this one. What can we blame on Scorp? The Wi-Fi being down. Actually, it's not down. They just don't know the password. Craig, we call Craig the Snake Man. He says he'll answer to anything. But will he stand for that? If he won't stand for that, he won't stand for anything. Autocorrect. I turn that stuff off. The problem is that it wants to correct more than just the spelling. If it tries to think that it knows that you're trying to use a different word. I hate it when it changes the word. It's bad enough that it changes the spelling, but when it changes the actual word, and you said that's not the word that I wanted. Maybe I didn't spell it correctly, but that's still not the word. Yeah, I turn that crap off. I can understand misspelling because generally, if a person misspells something, they're pretty close. Generally, they're pretty close. So you can, and by the context of the sentence, you can get the idea of what word they're trying to use, even if they misspell it. But when it completely changes the word because it thinks that it knows more than you, then that's what pisses me off. Craig just sits and takes it. Your Zappa still does tricky things? Yeah, that's because they come in through the back door. They just want total control over everything we do. Everything. They want to control what you buy, what you eat. What you watch, what you hear. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? So yeah, I was going to try an Australian map, but I couldn't find it. I didn't know. I went to Giant and couldn't find anything, so I just stopped. I did find that one I was talking about, but it wasn't on Giant. It was on a different webpage. And it was a CAS map, and again, I've used CAS before. But yeah, it just shut my game down. Just shut it completely down. I thought maybe it was the DLC I've got. So I took that out. The new DLC that has the new crops and stuff. Because there's a lot of old maps that don't recognize that DLC, and so you have to kind of take it out. What was that one we're playing now? This one here. At least they tell you. The author tells you, don't install the DLC. Don't run it if you've got it installed, because this map won't run on it, or it won't run on this map. So I thought that was a problem. So I took it out. And I put nothing in except for the Australian map, and it still crashed the game. So, and it took forever to load. And it crashed right as it got 100%. It'd get stuck on 65%. 2 or 3 minutes would go by, and it'd get up to 100. and as soon as it hit 100, boom, it was gone. The whole thing. I mean, it not only crashes the game, it crashes to the desktop, like you weren't even ever in the game. So it's got issues. I don't need a map that's got issues, so. Anthony sounds like he's doing good. Good to hear. Another day, another 50 cents. Hey, we got a raise. 50 cents. So Leslie's birthday party went well. Everybody went skating, and everybody fell. Scorpion said that Christopher and his girlfriend were using they beat the snot out of a couple 90-year-olds and took their walkers out. So they had walkers out there on the skates, holding on to a walker while they're skating around. You know what those walkers are good for? Even if you don't need them. My dad used to use his walker. Well, he kind of needed it at some point, but he would take it to those all-you-can-eat places, those Borgerschmords. You know, like the country kitchens, and they all have the same kind of a name, country kitchen or country buffet or something like that. He'd go with his walker, and he would put the plate on the seat and then wheel that sumbitch around and fill it full. You know, he'd have 2-3 plates sitting on that thing, just going like a bat out of hell through that to every section and just filling them plates up. I thought, well, that's pretty handy. I have to take a plate, fill it up, take it back to the table, and then go back and get another one. Takes me 2 or 3 turns to get everything I want. But hell, if I'd had a walker. I have a wife instead. I take her with me. Here, hold this plate. Here, hold this beer. Hold my beer. I'm going in. So, Scorpion says the wings were good and they flew to heaven with wings or something. I'm paraphrasing the chat because I can't sit and read it all. Big handbags at the lobster buffet. Doesn't that make a mess? And don't they crawl out? Lobsters, you eat them raw, don't you? Do you eat them live? So I gave a test to these glasses again. The last couple days, I've been playing a game that, now remember, these are not red, they're amber. Yeah, they just look red in the videos here, but they're actually amber in color. And they're pretty dark when you're wearing them. They don't look so bad. I mean, you can see my eyes, but when you have them on, it's like wearing sunglasses inside the house. Well, it is basically a sunglass. Anyway, they really changed the colors of things. Like right now, the colors are all different. The sky's kind of a yellow and clouds are kind of yellowish. Anyway, I've been playing a game that I really wanted to enjoy the actual colors. It's a colorful game. And so I haven't been wearing these for the last 2 days, and I haven't been sleeping good either. And so this was, what's today, Tuesday? Yeah, so it was over the weekend. And I 2 nights I just didn't get any sleep. I was just awake 2-3 times a night, and I'd roll over and try to go back to sleep, and I'd wake up at 5 and 6 in the morning and just get up. As soon as I started wearing these again, I'd start sleeping again. So I think it's because I spend an abnormal amount of time on computers. I mean, more than most people. It's at least 6 to 8 hours a day. I'm looking at either a TV or a monitor or a telephone or a tablet or something. And that's quite a bit. And it's not only just that. Like I've said before, I got a monitor over here, you know, a 17-inch monitor there, 17-inch monitor over there. Or is it bigger? It's bigger than 17.
All right.
Hey, it's mead time. This one in front of me is a curved one, so I get all the stuff from every angle. And it's a 32-inch, and then I've got a 55-inch TV above that I use for a monitor. So I've got all these monitors just bombarding me, not to mention that light up there for the live streaming. So I add that by 6 to 8 hours a day, and that's a lot of UV rays. Sucky, sucky. Bomb, 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 bomb. Let's go this way. All right, so we're done with that. I should go see if I've got silage made up to sell. What was I getting ready to harvest? Something. Let's fix this up. Do that, and that, and that. Soybeans. They're still growing, though. They're not ready. They're growing. There's no way of knowing how fast our corns are growing. Pretty slow. So I guess I got to go back home and sleep. I don't have anything. I don't have any work I can. Well, I do. I could start plowing and liming and all that kind of crap-a-doodle-doo. But I'd like to get the harvest done that way. That way all the crops are planted at the same time. That shouldn't really matter, but... Alright. Let's go up and... I wonder if I can sleep in the daytime. It's pretty bright out there. I'll sleep in an hour. We'll get up at 7. Tim's in the house. Your game keeps freezing. Are you using mods? Are you using mods? If yes, then have you changed any mods recently? How long has this been happening that your game is freezing? All right, I'll go check the corn first, I guess. John's in the house. Hey, John. Bryant Customs. What's going on? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got somebody new we should do around. Somebody put up a round of something refreshing. Okay, the corn is still growing, so that's not going to work for us. Let's check here. Corn still growing. Still growing over here. Let's go check the soybeans.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Bryant, this round's on you. Cheers, Craig. All right, the soybeans are ready, so I can get started on that. Let's get a combine or two.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, cheers. Oh, my God, look at that combine. What a mess. I wonder if it needs a paint job. It needs a wash, as my foster mom would say. It needs a wash. No, it needs a washing. Here, we can wash it easy enough. Let's do that. There's a good wash job. And then let's check and see how the paint job's doing.
All right.
Andy. Cheers, Andy. I can't really tell if the paint job's bad. We can look real close here. Let's see. Repairs, repaint. Holy smolies. Look at the price to repaint this thing. $87,792. Oh, man. Well, we'll do the repairs for sure. Ryan's just subscribed. He gets a free tractor. Let's get Brian a tractor here. All right, Brian, there's a new tractor for you. The only one I can afford, but it's a big one. All right, let's paint it. I want to see what the difference is. It better look a lot. It looks the same. Oh man, $87,000 and it looks the same as it did. Huh. You know what it might have been? It might have been the, well, no. Gosh, I don't know. All right, we'll just let it go. What are we going to do? Yeah, don't wear that tractor out. It's a dandy. They're hard to replace. I know what Craig's secret is. You guys want to know how Craig gets all his money? He's only done it once that I know of. He unsubscribes from the channel. Then when he subscribes, he gets 500 more buckets of grain. Now I've told everybody the secret. I can change that, though. I could just say, okay, you subscribe, you don't get nothing except for that tractor I give you. Craig says it only works once. Okay. Well, that's good to know, I guess. All right, we're going to clear a corner out here. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I got a gate in the way. I don't want to take my gate out. They're expensive. Don't run into the header. Give yourself a haircut. A haircut you probably didn't want. All right. We're gonna miss that one up there. So let's. Okay, so we've got the GPS on. Let's choose harvest. And then let's flip it around and reset it. Turn it on. And Bob's your uncle. We're off to the races. All right, Bryant. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself and your family. Stay safe and stay warm. It is still winter in most places, unless you live down under. Lori was told to go to farmers only. What's that mean? Go to farmers only. Did I miss a conversation? Is this soup du jour yet? Carol made a big pot of stew yesterday. I like it because to me stew's kind of a warm winter. It's a nice winter comfort food in my opinion. Almost any kind of food's comfort food for me, though. I like to eat. My dad was that way. My dad was a hearty eater. My dad was by no means overweight. I don't think I had ever in my life seen him overweight. He was a hard worker, though. But he just loved to eat. And, he could eat a good meal. That's how I knew when it was his time, because he stopped eating, and I said, okay, he's not doing good, and that was about the same week that he told me that he was tired, and I knew exactly what he meant. I mean, he may have been physically tired, but that's not what he meant. He was just tired of being here. He did pretty good. He made it to 93, just short of 94. He died just before Christmas, and his birthday was the last day of January. Which is kind of funny, is my dad's birthday was, like I said, the last day of January. His older sister, her birthday was leap year, so that would have been, close but no cigar. And he gave himself a haircut. Friend came in and said, "You're the only man I know with hair that wants to look bald." I think my dad knew, because the week, not even the week before, it was just a handful of days before. That's when all my siblings were still alive. There's 13 of us. And my dad sat on the phone all day calling each one of us just to talk, say that he loved us, that kind of thing. And I should have known, because my sister, he was living at her house. They were taking care of him, and she told me, she says, I don't think he's got that long. And I said, okay, I'll get down there as soon as I can. And I was waiting for the weekend, and it was just a couple of days after that I got a phone call and they said, "Don't wait any longer. Get here now." And I said, "Okay." And it was, I took off about midnight. I drove all night, Carol and I. It was about a 10 or 12-hour drive, and we drove straight through. And we got there about 7 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I got there, he was no longer talking. He was pretty much comatose, and had stopped eating. And I don't think they didn't really call me immediately when he started going downhill. They waited a day or two and then said, "Okay, maybe you better get here quick." So I didn't get to talk to him ever again, except for that phone call I told you about that I'd got a few days before that. And that's why I say I think he knew. I think he just knew that, this is it. I've had it. I'm not even going to try. He was in some pain and was pretty miserable for the last few years. I'm going to clean this mess up here. All right, so get back on the swing of things here. You don't have to wash. Of course you do. Bald heads are sweaty as hell. You don't have to wash the hair anymore, but the skin still sweats. I'm curious, what do bald people smell like without the hair? Buff it. Buff it up. You can go to a little kid on the corner shop that does shoe shines. Here, buff my head up. Or go to a bowling alley. Don't they have those things that you can stick your ball in and polish your head? Just stick your head in it. A disc buffer. I had a dentist appointment yesterday. I've been doing nothing but seeing doctors lately. And at least my heart doctor said, he's got me worried because he mentioned pacemaker, but not that I need one. He was saying that to keep me from thinking that I needed one. Because he said, you've got a little bit of a electrical thing that I caught on the EKG. But he said, I'm not worried. It's really faint, and it's, who knows? It's not something you'd need a pacemaker for. And that's when my eyes lit up. Well, as soon as he said pacemaker, I wasn't really listening to him until he said that. And then I thought, what kind of electrical problem is that? It sounds like a faulty one. So, stuff like that happens. When as you get older, especially if you have heart trouble, like me. I'm surprised I haven't had more trouble. Is the most painful thing that you have ever experienced? What is the most painful thing? Well, there's been a couple of them. Fortunately, most of them I wasn't awake for. The ones that I had a tooth pulled one time, and I didn't like that. The only tooth I've ever had pulled, not including my wisdom teeth. They put me out for my wisdom teeth because they wanted to take them all, and the X-ray shows that I have a root system you wouldn't believe. They showed me the X-ray and why they wanted to make sure that they wanted to get them out all at one time, and they wanted to put me out to do it. And they showed me why. When they took the X-ray, the roots to my teeth were almost wrapped around my jaw, my lower jaw. So he said, this is not going to be a walk in the park getting these things out. So he said, I don't want you awake for that. So I said, well, thank you for that, because I don't want to go through that. But having that one tooth pulled it was a lot. God, was it really all that painful, or just maybe painful is not the word. Uncomfortable. It's awful. If anybody's ever had an extraction, they'll know what I'm talking about. As far as that goes, probably my motorcycle accident, 'cause I almost lost my leg on that one. And I wrecked a motorcycle. It flipped over on the freeway on me. I was going around a corner. I hit a rock or something, and I was leaning way over. Probably driving faster than I should have. And it flipped over on me, and I'm not a big guy, so the bike was pretty big in proportion to me. And it flipped over and landed on my knee, and it scooted down about 100 yards down the freeway, just grinding my knee into the pavement. And when I got into the hospital, I got a staph infection. And that staph infection started in my knee and was working up my thigh, and they couldn't stop it. And of course, I don't know any of this. I was in one of those air tent things, and I was in quarantine. And the only thing I remember, painful, the reason I say it was painful, there was so much pus in that leg. My knee, my little knee was about that wide, and it was going up my leg. And they would come in on a regular basis with a needle, I swear to God, was as big around as my finger and about that long, and jab it in there and pull all the pus out. Very painful. And that particular hospital, maybe they all do, I don't know how hospitals function, but if there was ever a case where they had to do like an amputation or an emergency type operation like that, they would call the doctors into a conference, and they would discuss it, and they would have to be a consensus before they would do an amputation. I didn't know this until much later, like after I got out of the hospital, but they were in the middle of that discussion to take my leg when one of the nurses came busting in and interrupted their conference and said she thought that the staff had stopped, and because they couldn't stop the staph infection, it was climbing up my thigh up to my hips, and so they thought the only way to stop it was to take my leg. And fortunately that didn't happen, but that was a very painful time because I was awake through the whole damn thing. I'm pretty fortunate. I've never broke a bone that I know of. Outside of maybe a finger, sometimes you'll crack a little finger or toe and it may or may not be broken, but they don't do anything for it. They might put a little splint on it, and that's about it. So outside of maybe, and the only reason I thought maybe I'd injured one of my fingers is because it just, you really can't tell, but I always thought that I might have broke a finger. But other than that, I never had a broken bone in my life, except for my skull. Cracked it a few times. I've had horses kick me, and I used to break horses. A lot of people that know me know that about me. When I was a youth, I used to break horses for money. $200 a head. Not training. I did train horses, but that's not what I got paid for. I got paid for breaking them, and I got paid for what they call a green break. A green break is that I would take a wild horse and break it so that an experienced rider could saddle, bridle, and ride the horse. Somebody that wasn't an experienced rider, that's not the horse for you. You need a one that's broke a little bit, not just green broke. Green broke is they're still pretty wild, and they still may or may not buck on you. But that wasn't the point. The point was to green break them, is to get them where you could throw a bridle and a saddle and mount the horse. That's green break. And that's what I did. And then, of course, my horses I would train. I would train them to do a couple of different things. I trained them to neck rein and knee rein. So I didn't like to overpower the horses. I used to like to give them their head, and I would train them to where they would neck rein, so that there's two reins that come from the horse on each side of their neck, and then you've got the reins in your hand. And normally people will just pull them and pull their head around. I didn't like to abuse horses like that, so I trained my horses to where if they felt pressure from one of the reins, I would just pull the rein over. So that would loosen this side, but it would tighten that side. And so they would feel a little tension on their neck, and they would turn. And then I did the same thing with my knees. I would just tap them on the neck with my knee, or on the side, on their shoulder, with my right knee or my left knee, and they would turn. So I had most of my horses trained that way. Coca-Cola's bad stuff, man. We used to take a piece of meat and drop it in a Coca-Cola, bottle of Coca-Cola. It would just dissolve it like acid. Gallbladder sludge released, but I think induced with not for a week was worse. Then gallbladder pain. Yeah. Carol was pretty lucky when it came to that. It isn't like she didn't feel pain having children, but she had them very quickly. With Erin, our oldest, her water broke. 45 minutes later, Erin was born. And with Jeff, it was only 30 minutes from the time that the water broke and we got her to the hospital, and she had Jeff. And then I almost had to deliver Amy myself in the car. We barely got her in the emergency room doors. And so Carol was really fast. In a way, it kind of helped her because she never had to worry about the complications from, oh God, my mind just went. What's that shot that they give the women in the spine for pain? Lori, help me out. I can't remember. But whatever that is, Carol never needed it, because by the time they got an anesthesiast in there to do it, she already had the baby. So she was never in labor long. And each of my 3 kids were all born on their birth date, which is kind of unusual. Carol was so regular with that kind of thing that I had a doctor that told me that she was going to be due on such and such a date, and I said, no, she won't. She'll have the baby on this date. And he argued with me. I've been a doctor a long time. I've seen a lot, blah, blah, blah. You're not a doctor. You don't know stuff. And I said, no, but I know my wife. And I was right. He was going by the, what do they call that ultrasound thing? Epidural, thank you. Scorpion knew. Lawrence, how you doing? I'm doing great. Yeah, the epidural. Yeah, the only problem, Carol gets mad at me when I say this. I said, one of the doctors said he was going to, next time he came in, that she got pregnant. Next time he says, I'm just going to stand out here with a football or with a catcher's mitt. She just shoots him out. She didn't think that was very funny, but I said, well, it's accurate though, isn't it? our first child, Carol was laying there waiting. Like I said, her water broke. We were real close to the hospital, so I got her there. She's laying in bed waiting. And it was our first child. We had no idea that there was going to be a baby in another half hour. And so the nurse said, you know, it's lunchtime. Have you had lunch? And I said, no, I'm starving hungry. She said, well, you got time. You got plenty of time if you want to go get something to eat. And I said, oh, good. I'm going to go have me a big, juicy hamburger. Carol gave me this look. And I said, what? She says, you're not having that. And I said, well, what am I having? She says, let me think. It took her a few seconds. She says, fish. There was a Skipper's restaurant around the corner. She says, you can go have fish because that sounds terrible to me. And because she didn't want me having a decent meal that she couldn't have. So I said, okay, fine. So I went to Skipper's and had me some fish. And then I ran. I didn't take very long. I got back to the hospital, and the doctor said, you're just in time. She's just about ready to have the child, you know. And I said, God, I just was gone 15 minutes. And I went in there, and we had went to these classes where you're doing that stuff, breathe, and you're coaching your wife. So I'm down doing that. Okay, take a deep breath, release. And she said, oh, God, fish, get the hell out of here. And she was smacking me around to get me away from her. I almost missed the birth of my first child. I said, well, you're the one that made me go fish. Yeah, fun times. We were in there was no private room, so there was a room that Carol was in with the baby, and there was another couple in there with us. And at this particular hospital, when you had a child that evening, they would bring you in a steak meal. So we had this big steak meal, and there was this other couple, and we decided to join each other. So, and the funny part was, their last name was Stone, like a rock. And they got to the hospital, and the kid drove a Jeep. And they had the camera. Now, back then, there was no digital stuff. We had cameras with film in it. And they had a camera that was, the roll of film was completely full from the time she started showing until the time that they were at the hospital to have the baby, because they tried to take pictures of the whole experience of her growing, you know, a baby in her. So they had all these memories of her growing the first child. They got to the emergency room. He grabbed a wheelchair and rushed her into the hospital and just left the Jeep sitting in the emergency area. When he came back, somebody had stolen her suitcase. And she had a couple of suitcases. They only stole one, but it was the one that had the camera in it. And they never got that camera back. They even wrote an article in the newspaper the next morning. So please, keep the camera, keep anything else you got, but at least turn that roll of film in. And nobody responded. But so they were told from an ultrasound that they were going to have a little girl. And so they had handmade clothes, crocheted clothes and stuff. They were going to bring their little girl home in. And we had a girl. They had a boy. So the ultrasound was wrong, or they interpreted it wrong. So they didn't have any little boy clothes. So they gave us this handmade clothes for our baby because it was special, you know. And then so during dinner, we spent the whole time trying to think of a name because they didn't have a name. They thought they were going to have a little girl, so they picked out nothing but girl names, and they couldn't think of a boy name. So we're at dinner. One of us said, how about Flint? Because their last name was Stone. How about Flint? Let's name him Flint. Oh, ha, 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 big joke. And then somebody else would say, how about Roland? Roland Stone. And this went on all night, us trying to figure out a boy's name, and, you know, it was kind of fun times. Felix can't have a burger. That's exactly right. Jeremy, what's new? Colin Outdoors is here. Day's been pretty good for me. Colin, thanks for asking. Oliver Stone, there you go. I got to think, Oliver Stone wasn't a thing yet. I don't think anybody knew who Oliver Stone was. I think it was a few years later that Oliver Stone was a thing. I think they thought about gallstone. What else? There was a bunch. Anything you can think that had anything to do with a stone. It was fun. We kept in touch with them for a while, but we lost touch after a couple years with the Stones. Never did get their pictures back, though. What a sad thing. Oh, Bulb. I know a gal that did that. For her health, she would eat a clove of garlic every morning. And I swear to God, my office was clear down the hall from the front door. And as soon as I heard the front door, I knew who it was because I could smell the garlic from like 20 or 30 feet away. And, and again, it was before they had any kind of extract that I know of. Now you can go get garlic tablets for that kind of thing if you want. But it works on Rob. It works on zombies? Rob Zombie? You know what works with my kids? You mentioned any kind of chore, any kind of work, and where's the kids at? I don't know. Did somebody mention work again? They just disappear. Lazy boogers. Roasted garlic. Well, I'm almost done with this. This is an unusual conversation we're having today. It started off with death and then ended up with birth. Well, actually, it moved to birth and then ended up with garlic. So we're going to move into food now. Andy, are you switching over to a spring beer from Holiday Beer? All right, there we go. Soybeans. Soybeans are done. All right, let me drop this piece of equipment here. Whoa, pick her up. Put the wheels... No, put the wheels down first. There you go. Who's controlling this damn tractor anyway? Certainly isn't me. Look at that whole field. And that's not a small field. And I got 92,000 soybeans. That's all. Something's wrong. Not getting very good yields here. And I know I fertilized everything. Let's see. Did I leave that gate open over here? I think I did. I think I can get through this gate over here. Weather's a faster topic. Prime rib. I haven't had prime rib in a long time. Man, things are, economy's getting bad. I heard someplace this morning they were talking about UPS. UPS just laid off like 12,000 people or something. I'll have to look. I only heard it secondhand, so I might be wrong. But somebody said UPS is shutting down. Well, yeah. Who in the hell's got money to ship anything? The economy's so damn bad. Hang tight while I whip this thing around. See, we got almost $5 million now. I should look for some more property. Oh, I was going to buy like another farm and some animals, wasn't I? Or I talked about it. Maybe I didn't decide to do it. I can't remember from day to day. For anybody that's watching Baldur's Gate, I decided I was putting 3 videos up a week and it was killing me to do that much work for 5 people watching. And so I decided to just do one a week. I'm going to do, right now it's Wednesday. I might change the day. I'll have to see. Certain days people tend to watch YouTube more. I know that according to YouTube, Monday was not a good day. And the weekends weren't always great. But you would have thought Monday would be a good day, but it wasn't. So I might have to see which day, according to YouTube, is the best day to put a video up and use that one. But making 3 videos a week was killing me for no reason. Nobody's watching. So what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I going?
All right.
Where was I going? Turn GPS off. I guess I'm using the combine for a car. And I missed who that was. Matthew says it's Tuesday. Can you prove that in a court of law? I'm sure there's some countries where it's Wednesday already. Andy did some mead. That's what that noise was. I forgot to look. But cheers, Andy. I'm going to park this in my front yard and wash it. Maybe we'll wash it. Oh, my God. I wasn't paying attention. I got a cold one sitting here waiting for me. Reach behind my back. Do some dew. Put it in the automatic filler. Loads itself. Gravity works. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of sparkle to this. Here goes. Cheers. Ooh, man. That's good. Cold and refreshing. Makes me catatonic. We're catatonic. Get it? You don't get it. You didn't get it? All right. The maturing time doesn't look at all difficult for a basic mead. What's he talking about? Andy, what are you talking about? All right. Let me get rid of the kitty cat. Bye-bye, cat. Bye, catatonic. Catatonic. Cataloodle. Catalina. All right, where's my truck? I need my truck. We're going to go check and see if we got stuff to sell. And then I did buy that farm where I put the what you call it, but that's not the farm for animals. There's a couple of farms that have animals on it. We're going to go shopping. This truck doesn't turn my beacon on, so there's no point in having it. It was the mash. He did the monster mash. All right, we're going to head down this way. So I was mentioning this morning when I came on about an Australian map the Scorpion told me about. It's a 16x map. But I couldn't find it on the spur of the moment. I went to Giant's page and I looked a little bit, but I just, I did find one, but it crashes my game, so that I don't think it's the one Scorpion's talking about. Let's see what we got for sale here. Here's a money maker, pig food. Let's see what we got. Not much. Well, bummer trails. That wasn't hardly worth getting. 3%, 17. Okay, that didn't work very good. Your brewmate in Oz done his 5-year taste test. He has to have his taster tested every 5 years, huh? What is that, a requirement to be a brewmaster? That you have your taster tested? All right. Well, that wasn't worth anything. Let me get my Jeep. Mr. Rubicon. Okay, so this farm, all I had was a house on it and an empty patch with a barn. But I think there's another farm around here that has animals on it. Let's go take a look. There's no traffic on this road that I've ever seen. Slapped the binders on too fast. What's that place? What's this place? Is this just for looks? Or does this do something? I think it's just for looks. Some kind of storage it looks like, but I don't know. It looks like a warehouse, a storage warehouse, but it doesn't look like it works. Huh. It looks like one of those warehouses. Remember when they used to have these in, the Maverick used to put these in, where you could bring all your stuff and store it like a warehouse. But it doesn't look like it's functional. Janet bought it. Janet bought it? Is Janet still alive? Those kids inside of her belly are probably 18 now. They're gonna step out long enough to graduate. Is this a dead end? Whoa, whoa! Oh no. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Do I need flipping over? Man, he's stuck tight. Oh, man. All right, where am I? How do these things always happen to me? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Literally. Hey, there's a bridge. A bridge to nowhere. Look at that. Big canyon down there. Is that a road or a dry riverbed? Good question, eh? Okay, what field is this? What field is this? Okay, 135. Let's go to 84. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Lori. I forgot what field it was now. 84, I think. All right, now where's the road? Behind me. I'm lost. I'm lost in space and time. Where's this road go? It's a road to nowhere. So we had a bridge to nowhere, now we got a road to nowhere. Oh, jeez. No, flip it, flip it, flip it. There we go. Hey, there's talent for you. Flip it good. Well, there's a bunch of signs. I don't know where in the hell I'm at. Whee! Is there life? What's that over there? I don't know what that is. Look, there's some more of those orange things in the field. They must be drainage things. They all seem to be in low areas because, see, there's kind of a dip right here. It's a dip. It's a dip. What kind of dip? A bean dip. It's a bean dip. Come on, Rubicon. All right, there's a farm there. Let's see what it is. Pretend we're Tom. And Tom who? Tom. Peeping Tom. Well, that's weird because it looked like you could see through the windows and now you can't. Well, what kind of house is this? Whoa, look, there's a shop. Nice vacuum cleaner. Does this work? Probably doesn't work because we don't own. Oh my God, there's a freezer. This is the kind of freezer people have when they want to bury bodies. Carol wanted to know if we wanted a chest freezer next time. I said no, because every time the only time I've ever seen a chest freezer is had a body in it. All right, there's some kind of animals here. Or not. Is this pigs? Is that what this is? But look, it isn't one that's functional, doesn't look like. It only looks like this is just for looks. So that's no fun. They got a Quonset hut for driving into. All right, well, this isn't it. You're probably wondering why I haven't looked at the map. Probably a good question. Scorpion says it's a pig farm. Didn't look functional, but maybe it's functional after you buy it. God, this guy loves his ditches, doesn't he? Look at how big these ditches are, and I could understand it if there's water in it. I don't see a lot of water. Like dry ditches. Maybe it's been a drought. Look at that old barn. I knew a guy that would run around the country looking for barns like that were all falling down. And he'd go and he'd buy the lumber. And he'd say, I'll tear that down for you if you give me the lumber. And most of the time, the farmers say, sure, it's just an eyesore. You can tear it down for free and just keep the lumber. So I don't have to haul it off. So anyway, he would take all that barn lumber and he would make things out of the barn lumber. Cabinets, who knows, whatever kind of stuff. All kinds of junk-a-doodle-doo. You'd be surprised what people will buy. You don't believe me? Look at eBay. Hey, it's a major highway with traffic on it. Seriously. Hey, there's a horse place, but I don't do horses. What's this place? Is this a dealer of some kind? It's a winery. You should put a cheese factory right next to the winery. You want a little cheese with that wine? So what do we got here? Elk Mountain Ranch. There's some kind of a barn. Looked like a garage of some kind. Anything named Craig is questionable. What? You guys picking on Craig again? Craigslist. Oh, I got you. Where you can buy all kinds of crap that nobody else wants. What's this, a quarry? I didn't know this was here. What's this? It's the banks of the Mississippi. Let's go for this. Michael row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Can I get under the bridge? Yeah. Now I'm stuck. Good Lord. I'd just like to have to farm this field. Andy! Andy's doing it my way. He's doing it my way. We're moving on up. Well, I still haven't found that damn farm I was looking for. This is a nice little farm. It's got a windmill, a ditch, an old barn. Is this a cattle barn? Pig barn? What is this? Horse barn? What the hell is this? Weird barn. I think my engine got plugged. Is that a garden of some kind? Well, there's a
Oh, yeah.
something here. Tina. Man, this Jeep, it's a roller, isn't it? Well, it looks like there's a dropping off point. What is this? No trespassing. Well, you're not going to get very much business if you put a no trespassing sign up. Okay, there's some kind of an animal whatcha-dinger. What we got? What we got? What we got? Cattle. It's cattle farm. Is this a dairy? Can we go in the door? Probably not without buying it, right? Animals. Total capacity. It does have a milk thing. Oh, looky here. Oh. That's cool. This must be for straw for feed or something. Or something. It's a little something something. But what the hell is this? Whoa, I fell down. Well, how would you get in here? This is weird. Something must come from up there. Straw, maybe? But then how would you get out? You'd have to have something to turn this corner pretty quick. Huh. This is an interesting barn. I like this. It's different. Okay, something gets dropped off here. But I don't know what. Poo-poo? Is this for poo-poo? I bet. And then this must be for milk. You must have to hand milk the cattle. Either that or they poop down, and maybe they poop down this thing and it all goes out. Huh. Interesting. I like the barn though. It's kind of cool. Old fashioned. Cheese rolling. Lori says, I think it would be great if they used real places, weather, and commodity prices for kids to learn. Here, the problem is, every kid that I personally know say that this game's boring. I mean, Christopher, how many years has Christopher said that I was boring because I played this game? Actually, Christopher Beep, to be honest, just said I was boring. It didn't matter what game I was playing. All right, let me look at the map. There was a farm right here, and I still own it. 133 and 131. I own that. Oh, never mind. That's the one we already know about. That's not it. Where is... Well, Poopla. See, the farms are not marked on this map at all. There's a horse place up there. But the farms are not marked. What's this down here? Shop item. Oh. It's some kind of gaseous material. Well, I don't know where the damn farms are at. Let's get up where we can see. Okay, there's the barn we were just at. There's a little farm of some kind. A little dairy of some kind, I don't know. There's this thing, whatever it was. Is that my farm? This is my farm. Oh, jeez. How come I'm going so slow? Did I kick off to speed? No. How come I'm going so slow then? Seemed like there was a farm over here that had a bunch of animals on it. And the farm that I'm thinking of is a different map. It's that other map I was playing. There was a cattle farm around here somewhere. Boy, there's a postage stamp for a field. All right, here's that old-fashioned one. There's a farm right here that I looked at, I think. Because it had, I almost was thinking about this one for a farm. This is the one that's got the dead-end road. Okay, so... this is just a shop. It looks like a motorhome or something. This a dairy? This looks like a dairy. Where you put your cows though? You have to buy this before you can even look at it? Where's the real estate agent? Come on. Well, poop. All right, I'll have to come back and look at this one when I have money to buy it. I don't want to buy it and then not use it. But see, this got a dead-end road. I like that. Give some people some place to go and look at stuff. You know, hey, look, there's a dead end. Let's go see what's that down there. Nothing. It's a dead end. Can't you read? People are silly. Silly people. Oh, look at this rickety old piece of crap-a-doodle-doo. Wow. My kind of place. If you're an arsonist, light a match. Set it on fire. It'll burn real good. Okay, I don't know what to do. Let's go sell this stuff, I guess. I need to put a sell point in here besides that one. True, make it too educational, they may lose interest. If they ever had any interest to begin with. John got off early and doesn't have to work tomorrow. He's got the day off. Can you imagine? What are you going to do? It's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. You go have yourself a hamburger. Jesse's got court again next week on the 8th of February. Well, keep our fingers crossed. What do you think, Tina? Is everything going to be okay? Everybody get off the road. Scorpion's got to commute. Whoa! How'd that happen? I've never flipped this truck over before. Well, shoot. We're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and just flip the dang thing. John says he's going to sleep in. You won't know what to do with yourself if you sleep in. Get up and have yourself some flapjacks. Do they call them that anymore? Pancakes, I guess. We called them flapjacks. 76,000, that's not very much. Let's see if we got any dried corn yet. No, I must have sold it all. All right, we got to get some corn in here. I'm not surprised. I had to get, Carol's been in, Carol got called into some kind of a court, what do they call that? Jury duty. At our age, we can get out of it. But she said, nah, she wanted to go see, it gives her something to do. I used to never have to go to jury duty. I got called a lot, too. But all I had to do is tell them I was a postmaster, and they, okay, you're excused. Because I'm not allowed to leave my post. So I'd be AWOL. So I never had to do jury duty. But now, if you're, you know, I could get out because of my age, but I probably wouldn't either. Give me something to do. Give me something to laugh at. Where am I going? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I was just heading home to sleep. John said he wanted to take a nap, and I thought it sounded good, so I was going to come in the farmhouse and take a nap. I don't know if that fit in the garage or not. Hard to sleep around here with that damn plane flying overhead all the time. All right, here we go. 7 o'clock, sounds good. It was Janet. Waffles. I don't mind waffles. I like pancakes better, but John says he'd rather have waffles. Waffles are, sometimes people make their waffles crunchy, and I don't like crunchy food. I like soft food. And pancakes, they really soak up the syrup. But I don't generally use syrup because the diabetes, I tend to have too much syrup in it it's not good for me. So what I do is I use jelly or jam, and I don't use so much of that. And then lots of friggin' butter. I got a lot of butter on pancakes. And you have to eat pancakes fast when they're hot because if you wait too long, they soak up all the syrup, and then you got to put more on. Jeez. You already had too much to begin with. The thing about the waffles is the waffles don't soak up the syrup, so you use a whole hell of a lot less syrup with waffles. Same with French toast. If you eat a pancake, man, that's like a sponge when it comes to syrup. But French toast, you don't need a lot because the French toast doesn't soak up. That's still growing. All right, still growing. I'm bored. I got nothing to do. I'm waiting. Sit out here and have a beer. Of course, I don't drink beer, but... John, what's the weather in Dakota? You're in North Dakota, right? What's the weather? Weather or not, we're together. Together, we do it much better. Making Tina hungry. Caramel sauce. I like caramel. That's why I drink. That's why I drink. That's why I drink Milky Ways. That's why I like Milky Ways. One of my favorite candy bars, because it's caramel and milk chocolate. And I like caramel. I like caramel better than butterscotch. I'm thinking of toppings now for like banana splits. I don't mind pineapple. I don't care that much for the chocolate, but it's okay. I like either butterscotch or caramel, mostly caramel. Some strawberries. I'm talking about topping sauce on a banana split. Strawberries are pretty good. Like a strawberry sundae or something like that. Mostly the caramel's the best, though. Whipped cream and strawberries on my waffles. I don't like syrup. The kids like blueberries because Carol likes blueberry pancakes. And she makes blueberry pancakes. I'm not much for blueberries. They really don't have much of a flavor to me. Oh, I was going to go check the corn again. I need to move this corn farm, this corn closer to the house or too far away. Still growing. Good God. How long does it friggin' take for corn to grow? Evidently, a long time. Whoa! How do I get in the garage? Why do we have to go upstairs to sleep? It's a pain in the butt getting up these stairs. It is actually a pain in the butt because my butt's so big I can't get upstairs. I keep bouncing from railing to railing. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah, the other thing about my doctor appointment for my heart, they didn't want to see me again till next year. Well, that's a good sign. It's not. We didn't do an EKG. We want to see you again in 2 months. What? What did you not like about what you heard in my heart? So whenever I hear them say, "Yep, you're good for another year," oh, that's good because they're not worried about anything. Ready to harvest. Okay. Yeah, when you get to be my age, if they say we'll see you in another year, that's good news. Hey, can you come back next week? What? And can you just stick around for the afternoon? We got more tests to run. What? No. I hate hospitals. People die in hospitals. I don't like hospitals. You can imagine from me being born with a bad heart, I spent a lot of time in my youth in hospitals. I don't like hospitals. Lonely. I was just so lonely sitting in a hospital, little kid. The hospital that I went to for my heart surgery was called Seattle Children's Orthopedic Hospital. Children's Hospital. And where's my combine? It was in the driveway. I was right by it. And, oh, wait a minute. There's another combine. Has this got a header on? This one's already got a header on it. Let's get this one. I remember they had a toy room. They had like Lego blocks, only they were not Lego blocks. They were actually just big hard cardboard blocks. And they were all different kinds of sizes. You could build like a igloo or a castle or something in this big old room. And what else do I remember? Oh, I remember there was a thing that they had. It looked like a bug. It had suction cups on it. And it had a wheel that was full of suction cups. And you stuck it on the wall and you pulled a string and let go, and it would motorize that thing, and it would climb the wall with suction cups. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how the hell it worked. It wouldn't climb any wall, but it would climb something like a refrigerator, that kind of a wall, a painted wall, but not one of those spackled walls. It had to be something smooth. But I thought that was pretty cool. I used to play with that thing all the damn time. And then they had an Etch-a-Sketch. I spent hours on an Etch-a-Sketch. But the whole point is I spent a lot of time in the hospital, and it was so... And I just got dropped off. The parents had dropped me off, and they'd come back a week later or something. And it's like, I was so lonely and, scared. And getting the big city of Seattle, it took us 2 or 3 hours. Most of the time we'd take a train to Seattle. But it was a terrible time. I'm surprised I even remember that much about it since I was only, 4, 5, 6 years old. Now I can't remember what I had for breakfast. That's why I don't eat breakfast, because I can never remember if I had anything or not, so I might as well not eat it. Why is it doing that? Stop it. There it goes. Couldn't get the damn thing to work. Uh-oh, I hit the guardrail. Well, this isn't much of a header if it won't chop through a telephone pole. Come on. All right, let me hit the GPS again. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted to hit. Where'd my game go? I lost my game. Okay, GPS, what I was trying to hit. Turn it on. Have we got a corn heading? Corn. Okay. Let's do something like that. And off we go. Into the wild blue yonder. Last train to Seattle, and I'll meet you at the station. Wait till 5:30, and won't be no hesitation. Oh, do. They're all but gone. There's only one monkey left. Monkeys are all dead. I know what I'm having. Some more stew. Marty stew. It's the last train to Cartersville, and I'll see you at the station. I couldn't remember the name of this town. Clarksville, wasn't it? Oh, it's still cold. Swiss steak over egg noodles. Do you make your own noodles, Lori? Some people do. I understand they're not that hard to make. Sounds like a pain in the butt to me, though. Where'd Tina go? We made her hungry and she went to get something to eat. I was getting hungry myself. Yeah, that's what I thought. That, noodles are noodles, right? I was watching these two guys camping, and they stopped in and bought some pizza dough. And it's a ball of pizza dough, and it's already made. All you got to do is squish it out so it's pizza shaped. And they were going to make a pizza in a Dutch oven over a fire pit. And so this guy's showing off. He's got this thing, this ball, and he starts squishing it and pulling it out. And then he starts doing that spinning thing in the air and throwing it up. And of course, he didn't catch it, and it fell in the gravel. The guy's yelling, 5-second rule, 5-second rule. And they're picking gravel and dirt out of the damn thing. And then they put it in the Dutch oven. And what he did was, it's like a pot, right? A Dutch oven's like a pot. And so he put barbecue bricks, what do they call them? Charcoal bricks. And he put a pile of them, started them on fire with a torch. And then he kind of flattened them out a little bit. And then he took the pot, put the pizza in it, threw the pot on the coals, and then grabbed the excess coals and put it on top of the lid. When he did, his gloves caught on fire. Other guy came around with a shovel, and he said, well, you should probably use this. The problem was that the pizza's setting on the bottom of the pan that's setting on top of hot coals. The other coals went on top of the lid, which is this far away from the pizza, the heat. So the top looked really good. The bottom looked like tarmac. It just completely burned. So their pizza didn't turn out very good. Well, and it had gravel in it anyway. So they had two balls, pizza balls. So they made another one. And this time he didn't drop it. But he didn't cook it as long. And it turned out okay. And he asked the other guy what he thought of the pizza. Was this a success? Because he said, I've never done this before. I just thought it would be something to try. And the other guy says, well, to be honest with you, the burned one was better. Oh, jeez. But the heat you want, there's a reason why they don't put the pizza on the bottom of the damn thing. They put it up on a rack or something, don't they? So, did you tell us what the name of the map was? Because I was looking at Land Down Under, was the map that I was looking at. And like I said, it didn't matter. It shut my game down. Yeah, I bet it was. Tasted crunchy. It would be real crunchy. Have you ever eaten gravel? I have. I've eaten gravel before. I was a dirt biker, remember? I put a lot of bikes down at one point. The worst thing I did was I used to raise pigs. And one day we were heading to market, so I was going to load these pigs up. And it had been a wet week. And so, and we hadn't cleaned the pig pen out for quite some time. So it was pretty slick out there, if you know what I'm talking about. And there were a couple pigs we just couldn't get, and I was going to try to just catch them by hand and get them into the truck because I couldn't get them, up the ramp. 2 or 3 of them went right up, but one guy was giving me all kind of trouble. And so I was young and stupid. I was going to wrangle that sumbitch. So I jumped over the fence and was running through the corral, the pig pen, trying to catch this pig. And I took a dive at this pig. And I was breathing hard at the time because, I was trying. Pigs, by the time they're getting ready for market, they're good size and they're hard to wrangle around. They're pretty tough little things. They're strong. And I missed him. He ran out from under me, and I'm diving like I was heading for first base in a baseball game. And I have my mouth open. And I get up, and I'm spitting what you might think is mud. It wasn't. It was god awful. A couple of my sisters in there going, oh. Yeah, tell me about it. Fun times on the farm. Guess what I did the next day? I went in and cleaned the damn pen out. It was a mess. Pissed me off. Put it in the back of the shit spreader and put it out on the pasture. Spread it out on the pasture. Make some use of it. I mean, it was pretty bad. You know it's bad when you do something like that and you know exactly what the pigs have been eating because you can taste it. I used to feed my pigs dog food. I had an uncle that worked for a company. It was a dog food company. It's Blue Prime or something like that. It was a premium dog food company. They didn't sell garbage dog food. It was expensive stuff. And he was a truck driver. He hauled their product. And when they would load it up, they'd load it up in bags of dog food. They had different products. This one happened to be a dry dog food. And he would always carry a 50-gallon drum with him, an oil drum. And he hauled this dog food all week long, right? So if a company said, we want 500 bags of this stuff, they would put 502 bags in case a couple bags got broken. That way they could cover the order. And if there was a broken bag, my uncle would take it and put it in this barrel. And of course, there's also with a broken bag, there's dog food all over the back of the trailer. So he would sweep that up into the thing. When it got full, that 50-gallon drum, he brought it to me. And I would take that dog food, and I would take what do they call that? Powdered milk. That's what they call it, powdered milk. I would take powdered milk that I had, and I would put the powdered milk in the dog food, and then I would put water. I would put, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of water in it, maybe a little bit more, maybe a quarter of a barrel of water, and let it ferment with that milk, with that powdered milk. And the dog food, it would kind of ferment. Oh, pigs love sour food. And those pigs would go hog-ass wild. And their skin would be shiny, from that dog food. It was good food for them. Man, they would just fatten up, and they look just shiny. They'd look like you just rolled in butter, those little pigs. They loved that dog food. Good stuff. Used to make good money on pigs. Piggies. Because everybody likes bacon. Except for Canadians. They like ham. You can't tell me that Canadian bacon is bacon. That's a ham, man. That's a slab of ham. The 2 smoking barrels. That sounds familiar. I think I've seen that. What's Lori talking about? We would feed pigs leftovers. Yeah, of course. That's where the term "slop the pigs" came from. We're gonna slop the pigs. They'll eat about anything. I used to feed them coal. You had to make sure you got what they call a denatured coal, because a lot of coal has creosote in it. And so you don't want that. You wanted just regular coal that wasn't treated. And there's something in there, some mineral that they like, that they need. And it was one of the times that I didn't like feeding the pigs, because we had the pigs a ways down from the farmhouse. The pig corral was down at the bottom because they're noisy for one thing, and they stink for another. I liked pigs, but they have their downfalls. But when I everybody hated when I fed them charcoal or coal. It wasn't charcoal, it was coal. Everybody hated when I did that, because the pig pen was kind of down in this little valley of the farm. It was down in a little gully in a hole, kind of. And I'd throw the coal in their pan that we fed them, the trough, and they would start crunching on that, and it sounded like they were eating bones, crunching on bones, and that would echo across the little valley that they were in, and you could hear it clear up at the farmhouse. That crack, crackle, crack. Oh, it's like, everybody just drive everybody nuts. Oh my God, everybody was sitting in there shivering every time they heard this crunching. Pigs crunching on the coal. Because they'll eat people. A pig will eat people, bone and all. That's how in the old days you see these stories. Farmers, they'd kill somebody and they'd throw them in a pig pen. Pigs take care of them. They eat everything and don't sweat. And don't sweat or don't sweat. Yeah, there's nothing. I see people that have pigs, and they'll go down there with a water hose. I did that too, but you made a mud hole, is what you made. You don't put it on the pigs, because if it's hot enough, and you take cold water and sprinkle on a pig, they'll have a damn heart attack. You'll kill them. They don't sweat. They lose body heat from their stomach, from their belly. That's why pigs are always laying in a puddle of mud. It's not because they enjoy being dirty. As a matter of fact, most pigs are cleaner than most people. If you let them be, But obviously in the summertime it got over the hundreds, so I would go out there and make sure there were little, water in the pen so that they could make little mud holes to get down in. Look at that! What the hell? What is that? It's pulling corn out of the ground. That's kind of weird. Huh. That is weird. Rabbits are the same way. You got to be careful with rabbits. If it's really hot, rabbit heart attack if they get scared. I remember my cousin had rabbit hutch behind the garage, and we were playing basketball on the front end of the garage. There was a basketball hoop, and somebody got a smart ass where they were going to throw it from the street and make a hole in one. Wait a minute, that's golf. Make a basket, and they overshot the damn garage, and it went onto the other side of the roof, and the ball hit the top of that hutch, and it was like 100 degrees out. And we went back to get our basketball, and about half the rabbits were dead. They had that ball hit the top of the hutch and made a big bang, and they had heart attacks. We started screaming for help, and they came out and just grabbed them and started pulling their hair off of them, or skinning them. We got to eat these, can't let it go to waste. Tina's out of here. We made her hungry. Is it really? My fuel tank? Well, we'll have to fix that, won't we? Let's fix that right now. Hang on. How do I do that? Let's turn this thing off. Flip it there. Field unit. Diesel. There we go. There. We fixed that problem. Thanks, Andy. I'm running overtime. You made me run overtime. Now what? Oh, it's time for me to go. Another Tuesday out of the way. What am I going to do the rest of the afternoon? I don't know. I might take a nap. Well, guys, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Hope you had fun. Hope to see you on Thursday. In the meantime, I still... Scorpion, send me a Discord memo on what the name of that map is that you're looking at. I'll take a look at it. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Stay safe. And, well, it's warm now. It's up in the 50s here. We actually it's 57 right now. It's almost 60. So, hey, maybe it's going into spring already. Anyway, ta-ta for now.